In this video, we will build a modern, interactive kinetic typography effect, where the text physically splits and slides apart on interaction, using nothing but pure HTML and CSS. Let's build a highly sought-after geometric text slicing interaction. I'm going to show you how to write out a master and pseudo layer setup step by step. Let's jump into the body tag. First, I'm going to open up our kinetic grid module by typing out a div with the class split wrapper. This forms the primary outer bounding box that acts as our dark luxury component framework. Inside this wrapper layout, I'll build our primary display typography by writing an h1 tag with the class selector split-text. Now, crucial step. I need to add a safe parameter to hold our duplicate text string by declaring the data attribute data-text-set equal to breakout. Directly following that attribute, I'm going to type the visible text string breakout inside the h1 headers to populate our physical layout geometry characters. Now let's back up inside our style tags and add the CSS. I add just basic style to the body. Next, let's target our master interaction trigger box by typing out the class selector .split wrapper. Inside, I'm going to write position relative so we can anchor sublayers safely, set cursor pointer to give users touch feedback, and add padding 20 pixels to coordinate inner boundaries. Now let's define our basic typography metrics by targeting the selector .split-text. Inside, I'll write font size 84 pixels and font weight 900 to ensure the characters are thick enough to slice. I'll add text transform uppercase for solid capitalization blocks. Set letter spacing -2 pixels to tighten character space.
Margin 0.
And write line height 1 to ensure standard vertical alignment grids. And now, here is the prerequisite setup trick. I'm going to write color transparent and user select none. This makes the primary h1 text completely invisible and non-selectable. We are only using it as a ghost skeleton layer to reserve the physical geometric grid space in the layout. Close that bracket. Now let's configure the kinetic split engine sublayers. I am going to target both pseudo-elements by writing out .split-text : before, .split-text : after. Inside this master layout block, I'll write the mandatory property content attr, data-text. This pulls the text string directly from our HTML data attribute to make our sublayers dynamic. I'll set position, absolute, and inset 0 to overlay them perfectly over our invisible skeleton h1 text. I am going to pad them out with padding 20 pixels to synchronize coordinates with the master wrapper. Paint them with color #FFFFFF, and configure a super sharp cubic-bezier spring curve timeline track by writing transition transform 0.4 seconds, cubic-bezier 0.251 0.51, and close that bracket. Let's engineer the exact middle slice using the CSS clip path boundary trick. I'll start the top layer configuration by targeting the selector .split-text : before. Inside, I must add clip path inset 0050% 0. This mathematical formula slices away the bottom half, meaning this layer only displays the top 50% of our text box geometry. To make it distinct, I am going to add an indigo accent layer color using color #6366F1. Now let's target our bottom layer geometry selector .split-text : after. Inside, I must write clip path inset 50% 000. This mathematical coordinate path slices away the top half, meaning this specific layer only displays the bottom 50% of the text geometry track. Now let's activate the interactive breakout motion vectors. We handle the top layer motion by typing .split wrapper : hover split text : before. Inside, I'm going to write transform, translate x -12 pixels. The exact millisecond your mouse cursor floats over the element, this shifts the top slice geometry along a negative horizontal vector path to the left. Finally, let's activation the bottom layer breakout by writing .split wrapper : hover dot, split text colon colon after. Inside this final block, I am going to write transform, translate x 12 pixels. This shifts the bottom geometry slice along a positive horizontal vector track to the right, completing our breakout animation loop, and close our remaining curly braces. As we hit save, our code executes cleanly. Our Kinetic Typography module sits perfectly on our dark editorial canvas layout. At rest, the indigo top layer and white bottom layer mesh together perfectly to look like a single line of text. But look at what happens the exact millisecond our cursor enters the interactive bounding box. Thanks to our sharp cubic-bezier transition curves, the two clip path defined geometries slide apart smoothly along opposite horizontal breakout vectors, producing a highly unique, modern geometric typography look powered completely by hardware-accelerated CSS transition tracks. Thanks for watching. If you found this real-time build helpful, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. See you next time.